All right, here we are coming up for the 9-hole campaign. And first thing I'll do here is typically hit this roll drive. So this will keep it out, keep me from being in those trees too much when I do that. This will typically play a little bit uphill and into the wind. 10 yards uphill, a little bit of wind. I could almost go full here. I probably can go full. So I'm thinking about just doing it, even though it is kind of on that back corner. This could be a good start to my round, but it can also make or break you. So you want to avoid doing this and putting it in the rough, that's for sure. But what it does is it gives you the opportunity, if you can get it in there, as you can see, I'm only about 5 foot from there, from getting those great. So if you can get those, great points right off the bat here, you really put yourself in a good position. So I try to get just a little bit aggressive there. So here we are, hole 2. I'm just going to play this up here. Should be okay with the 2-iron. And 94, 92. A little bit uphill, downwind. May just need to take off just slightly. I'm not going to take off too much. And again, I'm going to try to get aggressive, because if I can get this eagle, it's going to pay off. So we are going to just try to get, kind of aggressive here. So I'm thinking somewhere around the neighborhood of here. As I mentioned, I may just gently take off. So just too much on the wind play. Eagle would have been clutch, but as you can see, I still get 7,000 points here with just missing. So the 7,000 will come in handy. It's going to be very tough to get 3 stars on this. I mean, I'm going to have to hit a bunch of shots that good. At least 2 more like that, or 7,000 or more, minimum. And make all birdies. So, you have to go error-free on top of that. So typically this will play a little bit downhill. The wind won't be very predominant, so I'm thinking somewhere over towards the edge of the green. I can't come in on this too much. So, you got to pick your... Yes, and you can see I just tried to go for it a little too much. Probably shouldn't have done it. I should have just went 100. It would have probably actually been pin high. I was just trying to get to, I'm missing my yards by like about 3 there. And I essentially made a mistake that I essentially can't. Just trying to really go for that, because I know that I need kind of a stroke. So you'll see that I get just a little bit too cute there. May end up costing me. Let's see if I can at least pitch this in, kind of salvage. And it looks like I was able to, so I'll still get the 100. So, but the base 100, that means I gave up at least 60, 70 points there. So I essentially just threw back what I just earned. So I'm essentially just breaking even. Now here you can see we got the front tee. I was talking about this on the last guide. I never got it, but here you can see they give it to us. When they give it to us, we just got to go layup, layup. So essentially, I don't top spin the drive. As you can see, there's nowhere to shoot. We'll never be able to get up there. Even with a little bit more top spin, not going to be enough. We're going to need like the last driver to be able to even consider that. So other than that, I'll essentially kind of take it right up to the edge of the fairway here. Thinking something along the lines of this. Just slightly coming in. Hit that about 98% or so. So this with the tailwind may get there, but it's tight. It's very tight. You can see, it plays a little bit more than 5 yards here, extra. So it's probably best to go 5 wood and take something off of it. And you think, 10% is too much because it's essentially where the 2-iron leaves off. So, I'm going to need a 92, 93, somewhere in there. That's more or less where I'm going. And that looks pretty good there. Just going to bring it in with just a tiny bit more heat. Definitely good thing that I added that on, or else I would have missed that. As you can see there, that's only about 200 points. It's going to kind of keep me on the underside. We can't go for this without a little bit better wind. So we're essentially just going to play it over into the bulk of the fairway here. Hopefully get it. Okay, 109 with the 118. With it being on the back slope like that, I'm definitely going to bring it in like this without the backspin. It typically plays a little bit uphill, and I'm thinking, we at least need to come off 15-ish%. I feel pretty confident in that. It's going to be right around the 85 number with that tailwind. So let's try that. Might be 84. Oh, it only registered as 82 for some reason. So a little bit short. Had it got to my percentage that it wanted, would have been probably enough. Now here you can see over towards the center of the green. You can bring this in with no backspin, which makes it a little bit more makeable. Playing some wind, you got to play a substantial amount. I'm thinking over in here. Less 10% is probably too much. So I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 92 or so. So 91 I ended up hitting, and it was a touch less. It might have been 93 though that I needed, but that was actually a pretty good line. A good chance of making that one. So we're essentially at this point, if we don't get a hole in one, we're essentially playing for a two-star campaign here, which is still good. It's still good rewards, so it's not something to frown upon. You do want to kind of keep this consistency going. Make sure that you do get the 2-star campaign, because it still does build your points up. And this hole, you always want to bring it in with backspin, because you always hit a downslope, and you don't want to run through here. So it is a little uphill into the wind. I feel like I can probably go full here. It's very close. And we're going to underplay this wind a little bit. So I needed the right kick. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of this, and we are going to try to go full. And it looks like I actually overplayed the wind. I felt pretty good about where I was, but obviously didn't carry the way that I was anticipating. However, we'll still get our bird. So let's keep going. So this is a tough one here. This is tough to not put backspin on. Never do it if it's on kind of the front half, but since it is kind of on the back half of the green, I'm thinking about going no backspin and bringing it in just a little bit lower. This is a good wind to hole. So we're going to need to go the 118 ball. So 118. Looks like the wind is slightly angled, so we are going to play that. Oh, but then it has a right breaking green, so we need to kind of split the difference with how much we play. So I'm thinking maybe right in here. It is going to be about 10 yards uphill, which means that, we're kind of net. We kind of got to less the wind. So I'm thinking in terms of this wind, 5% or so. So 95-ish. Just see what that looks like. That's just a bit hot, so should have came in more like 90. You can see we almost had the line down too. So I hit a really nice straight drive. It's a very good chance to be able to hold that one if I got the percentage down. So it comes down to, good math sometimes. So here we're going to aim towards the right of the fairway, and we're going to try to counter the wind with a hook shot, with a slice shot, sorry. And it looks like I'm just a little bit under, but it did stop. So since, I had so much kind of a wind against there, it just did barely check up. So we should be good, but this probably doesn't get there. So again, that kind of brings in this complicated thing. You need to start thinking 5-wood. Well, when you club up to 5-wood, though, that essentially takes you to 90%. So I have to at least go 90. That's going to come in a little bit lower. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 92, 93. And it only registered as 91. It looks about pin high. So the 91, 92 would have been ideal. But if I wanted any chance there, I would have had to get more aggressive, which I really don't want to get any more aggressive. You can see how close it was to the water, the pin anyway. But there you can see I roll it in, and another 200-ish points. But we're going to come up short. We're going to be well short. As you can see, another 280. As I mentioned, even if I didn't throw away that 60, you got to keep having progress, keep having progress. I didn't do much of any progress. But you can still see, we still earn some good currency even with a 2-star. We get 2,000. So very good round. Good luck with those campaigns. And I'll see you guys on the next one.